Welcome to the only patient advocate podcast you'll ever need. In this podcast, you'll learn how to advocate for yourself and your family, and where to turn when if that becomes overwhelming. Now, here's your host, Joyce Schulz-Killian, registered nurse and owner of At Your Request Patient Advocate, LLC. She is your private patient advocate. Here at your request to communicate, educate, and advocate with and for you.
Hi, I'm Joyce Schulz-Killian, a registered nurse for 27 years and in healthcare since I was 18 years old. I'm the owner of At Your Request Patient Advocate, LLC. I'm here at your request because I am your private patient advocate, helping you navigate healthcare one puzzle piece at a time by educating, advocating, and communicating with and for you. I'm hoping to give you the tools you need to be your own best private advocate. Find me on Facebook at Your Request Patient Advocate, and on Instagram at JSKICURN, and on Twitter at RN Advocate for you. Hit like and subscribe if you like what you hear. So today we're going to be talking about how to age in place, or so you want to stay at home. So let's think about this. Here are the facts and statistics that you love so much. According to AARP, in 2010, 74% of adults 50 and over said they strongly desired to remain at home. In 2018, that figure fell to 55%. The overall desire to age in place, which includes people who said they somewhat agree, dropped from 86% at the start of the decade to 76% in 2018. Remember, 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day. Every day. Let me say that again. 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day, and they need somewhere to go. If you want to stay in your home for as long as possible, you need to plan and prepare. You should aspire to more than living in just the same home. You should want to stay there safely and independently. You should stay there only if you can maintain a desirable quality of life at a reasonable cost. Sometimes the home improvements needed can be costly if someone uses a wheelchair or with other health issues that require adaptive equipment. The modifications can be very costly to a home. So first, let's look at the financial piece. Some people think that it's naturally cheaper to stay in their homes for the long term, but it can be costly also. Let's do this on paper so you can see the costs and be honest about it too. There are one-time fees to sell your home, and there are fees to move into a senior community. So those are important to put on the paper. The senior community fees, some of them can be negotiated. Like a community fee possibly can be a negotiation. It might not be a deal breaker if you say you don't want to pay the community fee. Plus, there is all that stuff you have and what to do with it. Sometimes just the thought of that is enough to make you not want to move. I know it's enough to make me not want to move looking around my house. The truth is, at some point, you are going to have to decide what to do with all that stuff, even if you do stay in your home, because at some point, someone will be left with that duty. It may as well be you while you are alive and know the value of things. I don't know that I would trust people going through my things after life. They're not going to want them. So back to weighing the finances on paper. Yes, your home might be paid for, but there are continuing expenses many people overlook. Long-term expenses like maintenance, repairs, upgrades needed to maintain a home's value, in that the function your home is likely one of your most valuable assets. In that the function your home is likely one of the most valuable assets you have. And one of the most expensive, yes. You should want the value to be there if you need the equity or to leave as a legacy to your heirs. It says you certainly don't want to leave junk behind after you die. I, on the other hand, am going to bounce my very last check and spend every last dollar I have. There is nothing being left behind. And I'm going to go through all my things and get rid of them before I'm trying to give things away now as I'm aging, offering them to my children because I know some of the things they don't want. Also, remember that as you age, you may not be able to do repairs, cleaning, cooking, and you may even require personal assistance. Those increase the cost of staying at home. Then there's the real estate taxes that are likely to increase every year. All things to consider, so put it on the paper. There is also electric, gas, water, and cable at your home, and you may even still have a landline. All those utilities are included in a community except maybe a phone line or cable, so put that all on the paper. Those utilities sure do add up. The cost of staying at home sometimes isn't cheaper than going into a community and needs to be evaluated on a regular basis, not just once and be done with it. And remember, things change with time. People change. Conditions change. It's best to review every year or as a major, possibly medical change occurs. Other aspects of staying in your home are considering the social aspect. Where are your friends? A major problem for seniors is social isolation. Lack of personal contact leads to depression and loneliness, and it is a proven fact that people deteriorate faster both mentally and physically when their social connections are reduced. Let me say that again, and it's a proven fact that people deteriorate faster both mentally and physically when their social connections are reduced. Older people who are active socially tend to be happier and healthier and live longer. So things to consider if you want to age in places. Where are these friends and neighbors? Will they be here when you need them? Are they close to you now? Will they be close to you as the years go on? As conditions progress, there may be a time when you may not be able to drive any longer. So think about the length of time and the effort it takes to get to places and to these social connections that you have. Even if you are still able to drive, maybe you are not able to drive at night because of limited vision. And what about as the seasons change? We live in Illinois. Will it be easy in the winter in Illinois as it is in the summer to get around? Definitely not. Will you be able to still keep up with your social connections then? That's all something to consider. One of the advantages of being in a community is that you never have to leave the building to have a social encounter. You have your own independent living or assisted living apartment in a community, and the social aspect is planned for you throughout the day, all day. There are also many activities in the community, kind of like on a cruise ship if you've ever been. There's always something going on somewhere that could be of interest to you. The community list of activities is almost as long as the cruise ship one, and it's put out monthly. They hang it on a wall. You can see what's going on. Lots of communities also plan for outings, like day trips to the library, local shopping malls, restaurants, and even concerts and musical events. So those are things to consider, and they're all included, or you sign up for them, and a bus or whatever takes you, and it's all monitored, and somebody is there with you. Let's talk about planning for that transition to more help. So say your driving is limited at some point. Who will help you? Your children? Maybe on the days when they're not playing taxi to a car full of kids going from practice to practice. Who will get you to your medical appointments, grocery shopping, or just a day of errands? Caregivers are available, but that's another added expense, so put it on the paper. A caregiver at $30 an hour for 4 hours minimum is $120 extra a week, and that's on the conservative side. Declining vision, aching joints, or other physical issues might make it difficult to deal with mail, pay bills, read, or safely go for a walk. In many areas, there are services known generally as homemaker or companion services to help with these tasks for a fee as mentioned above. Those services also can remind people to take medication, go to appointments, and do similar tasks. In a community, you can see the doctor or nurse practitioner they have that comes right to you, right to the facility, so you don't even have to leave. Medication is brought to the facility. They have their own pharmacy that delivers. So the community can also help with medication reminders. They also have housekeeping services to make your stay easier, and laundry services. These are all included in the price, as well as housekeeping services and laundry that can be done for you too. What if you do not age at the same rate as your spouse, and possibly one has medical conditions that limit their ability to function independently? Who will care for them if you want to go out? How will you manage getting them to their needed appointments? It could be more difficult than you think. So recently I was at a community visiting, and I saw somebody taking out their family member, and it was a woman who was in a wheelchair, and she had a boot on her left leg, like a limiting boot for weight bearing. So something must have happened to her lower extremity. And she was obviously transferred to the chair in what's called a Hoyer lift. A Hoyer lift is where they put a pad underneath you, and they bring this machine in, and they hook these hooks to the four sides of the mat that you're laying on, the pad that you're laying on, and it lifts you gently, and they are able to move you over and put you into a chair or another device. You can go from chair to bed, bed to chair, bed to shower chair, whatever, but it's called a Hoyer lift. And that pad was on the back of the chair, so I knew that this woman was not able to bear weight or stand. And this family was trying to get her into their car, and they had her grabbing them around the neck, and I could see that they were trying to stand her, and her leg was turning, and I just felt so bad for them. I could not help them. The wife was looking on. She couldn't even help her spouse, I assume, with what I assume was his mother. He was saying, "Mom, hold on to my neck." So promises made long ago may not be able to be upheld for safety reasons. A lot of times we say to people, we'll stay in our house, we're not going to leave, but sometimes those things change, especially when dementia is concerned and people aging at different rates. We do not all age gracefully at the same time. I always ask those clients that have a spouse that's aging differently than them, what would you do at 2 a.m. if you woke up with chest pain? Who could take care of your loved one while you tend to your own medical needs? Chest pain doesn't wait. So that's something that's kind of a realization to some people. When they're living with people that are aging differently, when you and your spouse are aging differently. You think you have it all together and everything is good, but until something really happens, then you don't know. So prepare your home. That's my guidelines for you. After determining staying in your home is a good idea, say you put it all on paper and it does come out that staying in your home is the better advantage. Be sure that your home will accommodate your needs as you age. You need to make any modifications before you need them to reduce the chances of an accident, or that you won't be able to arrange the modifications when they're needed. Our bodies change as we age, and our homes need to change. Reduced vision, especially in the dark, less mobility and joint problems, such as arthritis, can be less of a problem when a home is modified for them. So if your decision is to stay in your home, then make these modifications earlier. Some changes to the home are easy and fairly inexpensive. Knobs on doors and cabinets can be changed to levers. Rugs and other items can be removed to reduce the risk of tripping. Strong handrails can be put on stairs. Grab bars and chairs can be installed in showers and tubs. Interior lights can be brightened and equipped with motion detectors throughout the home and along baseboards and on stairs to light the way. Some homes aren't suitable for an aging person without significant changes. Sometimes an elevator should be installed, or the master bedroom should be moved to the main floor. These can be costly changes that may or may not be doable. I'm looking for a ranch home. We live in a tri-level now. 7 steps, but it's 3 times 7 steps, so that's 21 steps. And I know as I age, I'm not going to want to be pulling laundry up and down these steps. This could be where living in a community is a much better option. Not everything required for a home to accommodate aging in place is obvious. Good sources of ideas for modifying a home include the National Association of Home Builders, which can refer you to certified aging in place specialists, and AARP. AARP is a really great resource. They have a home fit guide I use when evaluating a home. It's part of my toolkit when I do a home evaluation, and it can be found on their site, and I'll put a link in my bio. It's www.aarp.org, Living Communities, Housing Info 2020 Home Fit Guide. Now back to all the stuff you've accumulated over the years. I recently met a woman who was going to sell her house, and they made her get rid of a large couch that she loved because it was too big for the room, outdated, and they asked her to take down all of her plastic flowers. Needless to say, she was not happy. And this is before the process of her selling her house even could begin. They recommended carpets be changed out. I obviously recommended she not do any of those things. She had a beautiful home. Most people are going to want to come in and do their own things anyways. So I know someone who is keeping their son's graduation gowns, for what I'm not sure, but now is the time to declutter and rid yourself of all these things weighing you down while you can. It also saves family from the task after you're gone. Think of giving things away while you're alive. That's what I'm doing, and not waiting till you're gone to pass on the treasures. I've already given some things to my children. I know what I'm giving away. I know that they don't want my china. I know that. This also allows you to be aware of what your family is actually interested in. Not everyone will want grandma's china or silverware pattern. Generations are changing. They're not so attached to things as much as we were, or our family members were, our moms and dads were. There's no status in having all this stuff. It's about living these days. This will make the aging transition in your home easier and more available to you. And lastly, this goal of staying in your home should be evaluated not just once, but yearly as major medical changes happen. It is the best way to stay ahead of any major changes that may need to be made, especially if one of them is having to move. So there's certain things that you do in your house in the spring and the fall. Maybe those are the times to start thinking about, hey, should we make some modifications? How are we doing here in our home while we're prepping our house for winter, doing our fall things? Is there something we need maybe to modify as we age gracefully this winter? So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into deciding if staying in your home is the right move for you or not. Do it on paper. Be honest about your limitations, the costs, and your home limitations, and repeat as needed. 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day. Where are they at, and where do they want to live? Some want to be in a community, others want to stay and age in their home. So today we talked about the aspects of aging in your home or working in a community. I will put the links in the bio for the Home Fit Guide. And on that note, I would like to thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, please hit like and subscribe and tell your friends. I would like to thank everyone who has helped me take the plunge into this podcast and with all my dreams I've had in the past 8 years. Remember, I am your private patient advocate, and I'm here at your request to help you navigate the healthcare system one puzzle piece at a time by educating, advocating, and communicating with and for you. I'm here at your request because I am your private patient advocate. Find me on Facebook at your request patient advocate, and on Instagram at JSKICURN, and Twitter at RN Advocate for You, and on YouTube at your request patient advocate. Hit like and subscribe if you like what you hear, and tell a friend. Thanks, and have a great day.